We're at Happy Valley on a Wednesday night for the American Club Challenge Cup. That's our feature race number 5 on the 8-race programme ahead of a big weekend at Shartin. Group Racing returns to headquarters. Very warm welcome to Racing to Win, though. I'm Andrew Lejeune, joined in the studio by our former analyst Paul Alley and race caller Brett Davis as well. Brett, more on Shartin looking forward a little bit later on, but I think we've got a good card at Happy Valley.
Yes, 8 races on the card, not 9 this week, just 8, so it's back to the normal start time of 7:15. Rail out to the C position, and Oktoberfest continues in the beer garden.
A never-ending Oktoberfest, can't complain about that though, Paul. We've got a nice jackpot on the TT.
Yeah, 1.8 million we're starting off with that TT, so we should get up to about 4 million for a winning single $10 unit. There's one odds-on shot, pretty short at the moment, Best Smile, who comes up, but other than that, looks like quite open betting races.
He was beaten at short odds last time by Hardly Swears, but he's come out and won again, so the form's looking pretty good about him.
Yeah, it reads all right, doesn't it? So we'll see how he goes. He's drawn well, has top weight to carry.
All right, OK, more on that later on. We'll get into the Happy Valley preview in due course. Plenty to get through, though, including looking back on the weekend action at Shartin with our racing review. It was a big day at Shartin, some class action on show, including down the straight. 1,000-metre dash. Maybe others, billed it as a match race here between Voyage Warrior and Athero. There was no doubt about the winner, though. Athero absolutely hosed up in a track record time.
Yeah, what a great win it was from this horse as well. Voyage Warrior was taken on the whole way by Multi-Million, but Multi-Million did beat him home in the end, actually, if you look at the photo there with Just. But what a run by Big Time Baby at about 20 to 1 the place.
Yeah, last start winner on the dirt, Big Time Baby. But Athero obviously had big raps from day one or even before day one. Disappointing the start before, went around the circle against the higher grade, but back to the straight 1,000 was sort of the second plan B for John Moore, obviously sort of heading towards the sprint initially. He'll get some rating points now. He got 13 for that, so that'll put him right up there and in commission for another crack at the 1,200 against the big guns.
Yeah, and Cue the Music was a huge run as well on debut for David Ferraris. Back to the drawing board with Voyage Warrior, though. Athero, 13 points, so it puts him into triple figures, and they'll head towards the trial day, the Jockey Club Sprint in November. Other big winners on the day, with all around the 5, 6, 8 mark, but Encore Boy was pretty smart as well on the all-weather.
Yeah, and Allied Agility bounced back to his best also.
He's pulled up lame again, though.
Yeah, and pulled up lame, so it was a really good run. He's had a lot of issues. He's had some uncomfortable moments in some of his races as well where he hasn't fired, but the 2 wins have looked really good.
Yeah, good win by Savvy 6 there as well, the naughty boy. He's always
good old Savvy.
Yeah, he's always sort of threatened to do that, and he got a good run through the inside and won nicely.
Yeah, Keith Young was riding Savvy 6. Matthew Chadwick, unfortunately, ill that day, but he is back, Matthew, on Wednesday night at Happy Valley. All right, they were the big winners on the day. We'll see if we can find you some more now with our horses to follow. Now, you're down the straight here as well, Paul. 1,000 metres, not out of the big race. There was a few first starters early on in the afternoon.
Yeah, this was one of them, El Jefe. He'd had a trial before he got here, so he's going to come on from this run. He just looked for a run there. You could see he went inside, then back outside. I just like the way he hit the line here over 1,000. Once he steps up to 1,200 or 1,400 even, I think he's going to be very close to winning. Allied Agility, one we talked about, he ran away and won the race really easily, but I just really like the way this horse hit the line.
Yeah, I don't think no regrets at all, and Fantastic Boy either were the worst.
Yep.
So they were quite good.
Yeah, there were a couple of nice runs out of that race. There was a few in this race as well. Break Record's the one I'm going to highlight. This was a really good run from him, just his second start this season by Casino Prince. First up, he finished 4th over 1,200 metres and closed off okay behind California Gung Ho. He's 100 to 1. You can see him there. I thought the horse in front of him ran well too above. Gets to the outside and really lets rip late. He ran the quickest last 400. He ran the quickest last 800 in 44.8. He still did a few things wrong. When you consider Relentless Me was up on the pace and he went on to win, I thought that was a good run. Above went well in front of him too.
Yeah, that was one of 5 on the afternoon for Joe Moreira. My horse to follow was ridden by Joe, but he couldn't get this one across the line, unfortunately. Central Express. Now, I marked him as the best on the card. Might have been a little bit greed on my part. I expected him to improve dramatically from start 1 to start 2, and I think he did improve a bit, not enough, but he was a €500,000 purchase at the Breeze Up sales in France. Now he's a little bit quicker out of the gates. Next start, one after, maybe a step up in trip. I think he's going to go pretty close to winning. If you can get ahead of the curve as well, as far as the John Size runners are concerned, because they're going off at good odds at the moment, you know they're going to start winning races sooner or later. If you can just beat that curve, you should be well rewarded as well. All right, those are the horses to follow out of the weekend. Suspensions and fines. Well, Vincent Ho on Allied Agility in the early part of that race was adjudged to have caused some interference, careless riding, plus 25,000. And then going back to the 9th, Caris Teat, and this is Happy Valley, Playa de Puente and Farshad for Alex Light, 2 days each for those two. And that is, I think, up to date as far as all of that is concerned, which moves us forward into Happy Valley on Wednesday night. We're on the C course, worked back for our 8-race programme. Jolly Jean won't be going round, who should impact the pace somewhat. So defining moment on a quick backup from Shartin on the weekend. Now gets a start, and Joyful Union, who've been carrying top weight there, replaced by Dancing Fighter in race number 7. But Dancing Fighter will have a featherweight, just 117 on his back. So meeting number 11 of the season. The 8 races on the programme. It's race number 5, the American Club Challenge Cup, is our feature race. One of 3 races over 1,800 metres. We start off with a Class 5 over the 18, headed by Dragon Warrior. His 2 wins today have come over this trip at Chung Fa and here at Happy Valley. Sky Gem, 3rd last time out behind Curling Luxury, and Megatron the start before that. Megatron is a course and distance winner last time out. Sorry, 16.50 last time for him. R Green gets the blinkers back on. He's first up, Class 5 for the first time for him. Keep Going, playing around with the headgear as well. Hood on, pacifiers back on. Still a maiden after 16 starts. A Romantic Journey. They try the tongue tie back on. Good jump from barrier 11. With Keep Going in the saddle. Dragon Warrior and Keep Going are the horses that have been up at Chung Fa within the last month.
Tom Wood told me earlier today, 10 of the last 19 winners have come out of Chung Fa, so it's certainly paying dividends, the establishment up there in China. Now Megatron a front-running type here, and Come On Wong Choi. Money Marshall was quite handy last start. Dragon Warrior might have to do a little bit of work, but if they order themselves in quickly to those positions, then maybe it's good to slow. I tend to think Megatron might push on and probably want the lead solo as opposed to sitting off the fence. So maybe a touch more pace goes in then.
Here is Dragon Warrior. He's the one at the back there, just doing some nice, easy work leading into this race. He's here in Class 5. He's been here for a little while. He did win a couple of times last season in the grade. Chad Schofield riding here, and he'll take the mount on race day. Megatron, he's the last start winner, and he's still really well rated, actually, this horse. He gets a 10-pound claim as well. Has won over the 1,800 metres. And should go forward on the C course, so he goes pretty well. Nice, relaxed work for him. And the other one is Young Glory. I thought he strode out nicely here. It wasn't a bad piece at all. And he gets the coveted barrier 1 with Jack Wong aboard, and he goes nicely here in the morning as well. So not bad from him.
All right, well, those are a couple of the track work clues. We'll have a look at some of the races as well. Now, Megatron had a few of these behind him last time out. Sky Gem, Golden Kid, Come On Wong Choi and Dragon Warrior. Any of them turn it round?
No, I don't think they can, and I'll tell you why. Because he's got the 10-pound claim. He's won off a rating of 45 before. He'll go to the front, which is a good place on the C course, and I think he can get an easy lead. So I think he can win again. He's a 4-time winner. Whereas Sky Gem, who's come up the favourites, lost 25 pounds. This will be his 4th run for the season. And he only ran 3rd there, so that's his best ever effort.
Yep, true. I think Megatron will be right there again. I think Sky Gem's a chance. He meets him a little better at the weights. But there wasn't a huge margin between sort of 1st and 5th there. So I think it can be turned around. But he's definitely in there, Megatron, for sure.
All right, they're sort of 4 and 5 pounds better off the majority that finished behind him on that occasion. All right, that's Megatron. See if he can go in again. What about Money Marshall? Let's hear from his jockey, Lyle Hewitson.
Lyle Money Marshall, you've ridden him in his 2 runs so far this season. That was a good run from him last time.
Yes, he was luckless first time out and probably just a touch short and would have needed it, but he showed the improvement and came on nicely over the 1800. He hasn't shown much at Happy Valley thus far, but this is the right sort of trip, so hopefully some improvement in that regard. He's a bit of a difficult ride, he can run around and he hangs, but he's 3rd up after a good run, and I'm expecting him to run a positive race again.
Just on that point, him being a difficult ride, he looked quite keen, particularly in the early stages last time out. Is he a difficult horse to try to settle?
Look, he can travel a little bit too hard, but you don't battle with him. I think he just has that sort of high head carriage and big striding action, so a little bit uncomfortable to try get him to settle in and give yourself that room. So that's not necessarily my biggest concern. It's more the fact that he can really hang in a bit and you know, we managed a bit better last time, so it's just about having the right run, and he can run a positive race.
Does he run a strong 1800?
Yeah, I think he does. You know, he enjoys that a good tempo too. So, look, it all depends how the race unfolds. But I don't think he's a sort of one-dimensional horse either. We might have a few options, but yeah, it is Class 5, and he's in form at the moment. So hopefully he can back that up.
And for yourself, you've been here 6 weeks for this season. Has it not been the ideal start to your time in Hong Kong? Still looking for that winner to get on the board?
Yeah, of course. You know, it's always difficult. People start to doubt you a little bit, and it's all about just remaining positive, have that optimism. You know, the 2-week setback probably was the biggest kick in the teeth, but I've been working hard and remained optimistic and hardworking. So it'll crack the ice soon, and we'll get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I think he's got a couple of chances, Money Marshall being one of them on Wednesday night. The horse that won that race, Curling Luxury, we'll talk about later on. Association fans, though, we always like talking about association fans. This is him running 4th to 2 starts back, so he's had a run on the all-weather last time out. This is behind Compassion Star.
Yeah, and off the back of this run, I think you can give him some type of chance. The all-weather didn't really suit at all. We know he's a pinch of salt type of horse. You've got to take him with a little bit of trust. But he closed off quite well here, and I'm happy to forgive the run on the all-weather.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got him in. He's got ability, though. He has one higher rating.
Tipping Jenny won't have him in her tips either.
No. Sky Gem has come up favourite, Paul, but you'll be taking him on?
Yeah, I've got him in there for second, but I think Megatron's a massive price at the moment. I think that'll come in because, like, he's a 4-time winner, and Sky Gem, the best he's ever done is a third, and he beat him fair and square last time. There's only about a £4 difference, so I've got him on top to beat Sky Gem. Money Marshall, I thought, ran well at his last start. And Golden Kid, another one that's getting down to a nice rating, and he's got barrier 4, so he should get a nice run. 4-2-8-3.
Got the same trio as Paul, slightly different order. 2-8-4, Sky Gem, Money Marshall, Megatron. I thought Young Glory ran slightly better last start too. He actually made some headway in that race behind Curling Luxury, which was a sit and dash. So interesting, there was a fair bit of money for him in place betting the Racing Club horse. So from gate 1, he goes in for 4th.
All right, there you go. I've left out Megatron, actually, this time round. Haven't seen him doing 2 in a row, but 2, 7 and 8 is my first 3 there at Happy Valley. That's the opening contest. Again, a reminder, the feature race is race number 5. That's a Class 3. We'll come back, though, with the second event, the Class 4 over the 1,000 metres.